biggest AI leak of the year just happened. And nobody broke in, Anthropic did it to themselves. And what's inside, even they are not sure they should release it. That same week, Elon Musk announced the biggest chip factory in history.
Important announcement to make, which is the most epic chip building exercise in history by far.
And most of what it builds isn't staying on Earth, it's going to space. Welcome back to AI Updates of the Week. I consult companies on AI for a living. Every week, I sit across from founders and operators watching what they're missing. This week had 9 things worth your attention. Anthropic's next model wasn't supposed to be public yet. Elon said one number, chip stocks moved. Google dropped a paper. 3 companies lost billions. OpenAI killed their own product. Claude opened someone's laptop while they were at dinner. ChatGPT added 1 tab. Fixes everything. 1 button in Gamma, 1 hour saved. An image model that actually understands what you meant. A 20-year-old, 10 days, $4 million, but D1 you need to stay through for his tutorial. I gave Claude 1 prompt from my phone. It opened my laptop, went to X, found the best posts, wrote 7 reel scripts, and dropped a finished PDF in my downloads. While I was at dinner, I am going to show you exactly how to set that up, step by step. That's after the updates, 9 updates. Let's get into it. Before we get into it, all the links, tools, and breakdowns from today are already in the WhatsApp community. Links in the description. Anthropic's most powerful model just leaked, and not because someone hacked them. They did it to themselves. Their content system, basically where they keep all their unpublished stuff, left 3,000 documents wide open on the internet. No login, no password, just sitting there. 2 researchers found it on their own. Fortune got in and read the raw files before Anthropic even noticed. And what was in there? A model called Claude Mythos. Internally, they call it Capybara. It's a whole new tier bigger than Opus, which is already their best. Anthropic came out and confirmed it, and the way they described it was a step change. Dramatically better at coding, reasoning, and cybersecurity. But here's what actually got people talking. They said Mythos is so good at finding security holes in software that hackers using it could break in faster than companies can patch. Think about that. The company that built its entire brand on AI safety is worried about their own model. Every other lab is now trying to catch something that even Anthropic doesn't fully trust yet. That's the AI model everyone's talking about. But the hardware story this week, just as big. People always ask, why does Elon Musk run so many companies? Last week he answered.
Important announcement to make, which is the most epic chip building exercise in history by far.
Here's the thing. Every AI tool you use, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini runs on chips. And right now, there aren't enough of them, not even close. So he's building Terafab, Tesla, SpaceX, XAI1 factory. You design a chip, build it, test it, fix the design, build the next one, all in one building.
And we're starting off with an advanced technology fab here in Austin. So in the advanced technology fab, we will have all of the equipment necessary to make a chip of any kind, logical memory, and we will also have all of the equipment necessary to make the lithography masks. So in a single building, we can create a lithography mask, make the chip.
So why build your own chip factory? 1 billion robots, all running on chips. And every chip factory on the planet right now, and the chips aren't just for Earth.
And I expect humanoid robot production to be somewhere between 1 billion and 10 billion units a year.
Tesla builds the robots, SpaceX launches the payload, XAI runs the intelligence, Terafab makes the chips that power all 3. Right now, your AI tools have limits because chips have limits. Fix the supply, you fix everything. He was never building companies. He was building infrastructure for everything that comes next. So, Musk is building the biggest chip factory ever because there aren't enough chips. But what if the problem isn't chips? What if it's software? Google Research just dropped an algorithm called TurboQuant. It compresses AI memory by 6 times and speeds up processing by 8 times. No accuracy loss. And the part that matters most, you don't have to retrain anything. Existing models right now instantly more efficient. So basically, one line of research just made every AI model need 6 times less hardware to do the same job. The markets figured that out immediately. Micron dropped nearly 20% in 5 days. Samsung and SK Hynix fell 5 to 6% each. And now, investors are asking a question nobody wanted to ask out loud. If software alone can do this much, how much physical memory does the AI industry actually need? The companies building chips are spending billions on new factories. The assumption was always AI needs more hardware, more memory, more everything. TurboQuant just poked a hole in that assumption, and Wall Street noticed before most of tech Twitter did. If you're finding this useful, there's a lot more like this on the channel. We break down what's actually changing every single week. Chips, software, stock crashes, and OpenAI just made it worse by killing their own product. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, just killed Sora, their AI video generation app. App, API, everything. Done. And look, the signs were already there. Downloads dropped 32% in just 1 month. The app made about $2 million total while burning hundreds of millions in GPU costs. Disney had a $1 billion deal to put Marvel and Star Wars characters inside it. That deal is dead too. Here's the thing, an internal memo from Sam Altman leaked to the information. Based on that, it looks like OpenAI finished training a new model, codenamed Spud, reportedly very, very strong. Altman apparently told employees it could really accelerate the economy. They've renamed the product org to AGI deployment. Altman is reportedly now focused on one thing, raising money and building infrastructure. And the Sora team, they're not gone. They've been moved to work on AI for robots. Sora didn't just fail, it was in the way of something much bigger. Anthropic just made it possible for Claude to use your computer. Open apps, navigate your browser, process your files, anything you do sitting at your desk, it does while you're not there. So, here's the demo. You're running late to a client meeting. Your pitch deck is sitting on your laptop at home. You pull out your phone, open Claude and type, export my pitch deck as a PDF and attach it to my 2 p.m. invite. On your laptop, without you touching anything, Finder opens, finds the file, opens PowerPoint, exports it as a PDF. Then it opens your calendar, finds the 2 p.m. event and drops the PDF right in. And it tells you, grab the version you edited at 9:47 this morning. It knows which version it's working with. Same idea. You're on a train, demos in an hour, you need a screenshot from your app. Claude spins up your dev server, opens the page in Chrome, takes the screenshot, sends it straight to your phone. You didn't touch your laptop once. Last one. Resize all the shop photos, add the logo, I ran out of time. Pixel Forge opens 133 photos resized, watermarked, saved into a new folder. The person was at dinner. But here's the thing, you can tell Claude to scan your emails every morning or pull a report every Friday. You say it once, it just keeps doing it. That's not a chatbot, that's an employee that doesn't sleep. Research preview right now, works inside Cowork and Claude Code, macOS only, links in the description. ChatGPT just fixed one of those small things that's been annoying forever. You start a new chat and you have to upload the same file again, same spreadsheet, same document, same screenshot, every time. That's gone now. There's a library tab in the sidebar. Every file you've ever uploaded, images, spreadsheets, documents, it's all just sitting there. You search, you find it, done. So now when you start a new chat, you hit plus, pick the file straight from your library, ask your question. No re-uploading, no digging through old chats to find where you put it, already live for Plus Pro and business users. Gamma just added something that solves a problem I genuinely didn't think presentation tools cared about. So look at this deck. Clean, structured, done. Vision slide, supply chain, impact metrics. Now someone messages you. Can you redo this for customers instead of investors? And honestly, we've all been there. You duplicate it, start swapping lines, slide by slide. An hour later, you've basically rebuilt something that was already finished. Gamma now has this button called Create from This. You click it, prompt box opens, you type one line. Adapt this for customers, keep the structure, focus on their impact. Same structure, completely new deck. Look at that, the investor language is gone. The slides are talking directly to customers now. One prompt, and if you're starting from scratch, they've got over 100 templates on the site. You just pick one that fits. Here's what's wild though. You take a template, paste in raw data like actual numbers, messy text, whatever you've got, and it builds the whole report for you. Charts, formatting, layout, from a wall of text to this. That's it. The hour you used to spend reformatting something that already worked, gone. Every AI image tool right now works the same way. You type something, it generates pixels, it has no idea what you actually meant. Luma just dropped Uni 1. And this one's built differently. It thinks and creates at the same time. Not two systems stitched together, one model doing both. Someone asked it for an infographic of the Golden Gate Bridge. It didn't just draw a bridge. It figured out the actual structure, the measurements, the proportions. What came out looks like a designer sat down and thought it through. Manga, photorealistic portraits, memes, things that usually need completely different tools. One model, live now. Every decision you are making right now is basically a guess. MiroFish fixes that. It simulates thousands of people, different jobs, different opinions, arguing about your exact situation. Then hands you a report on where they landed. A 20-year-old built this in 10 days, 33,000 GitHub stars, 4 million in funding in 24 hours. So we gave it a scenario and it starts building. First it figures out who would care about this. People, organizations, each one gets a node. Then connections start forming. Who's linked to who disagrees with who. Clusters start showing up. You can literally see where opinions split. It pulled in real entities, countries, leaders, mapped the whole landscape of who has a stake in this, and it just keeps going. Over 150 simulated perspectives, all arguing. One report: will customers leave if you raise prices? Will this post get you cancelled? Will your team quit if you end remote work? Free, open source, zero code. Alright, it's time for our weekly deep dive. And this week, you need to see this one to get it. So Anthropic just dropped this feature called Dispatch inside Claude. And basically what it lets you do is you type something on your phone and Claude does it on your computer. Opens apps, browses the web, types messages, creates files, all while you're somewhere else. And I know that sounds like a tech demo that doesn't actually work. So let me just show you what it did for me. This PDF 7 post pulled from X, each one with the engagement numbers, a full reel script, and a virality scorecard. I didn't write any of this. I didn't open X. I didn't touch my laptop. I texted my phone what I wanted, walked away, came back to this in my downloads. I'm going to walk you through exactly how to set this up. And then I'll show you 2 live demos so you can see it actually working. The whole setup takes about 2 minutes. So first, go to the Claude website and download the desktop app, Mac or Windows, whatever you're on. Once it's installed, open it up. You'll see the normal chat window, just ignore that. Click Co-work up here at the top, and then in the sidebar, you'll see Dispatch. Click that. It gives you a QR code. Open Claude on your phone, scan it, and they're connected. Your phone can now talk to your computer through Claude. Last thing. In settings, turn on computer use. This is what lets Claude actually control your screen, your mouse, your keyboard. Without this on, it can only do basic stuff through its built-in connectors. And that's the setup. Download, co-work, dispatch, scan, computer use on. Done. Alright, let's actually use it. Simple one first. So I'm on my phone, right? And I need to message my teammate Prajwal on Slack about tomorrow's schedule. But my laptop's in the other room. I don't want to get up. So I just type on my phone, open my Slack and text Prajwal saying what's the schedule for tomorrow. That's it. Plain English, hit enter, and now just watch what happens on my computer. It asks permission first. Can I use Slack? I tap allow. And look, Slack just opened on its own. It's searching for Prajwal, found him, clicked into his DM. Now watch the message field. It's typing the message, letter by letter, using my keyboard. Like there's someone sitting at my desk. Ask me one more time. Can I send? Yes. Done. Message sent from my account. I was on my phone the whole time. We break down stuff like this every week on the channel. There's a lot more if this is useful. Okay, so that was one message. Simple. But what happens when you give it something that would normally take you an hour? So I gave Claude a much bigger job. I said, go to X on Chrome, scroll through my feed, find me 5 to 10 high-performing posts from the last 24 hours, write a real script for each one, and put everything in a PDF in my downloads folder. One prompt, that's like an hour of work if you're doing it manually. It opens Chrome on its own, goes to X, starts scrolling through the feed. Halfway through, it realized the results were too broad, so it narrowed the search on its own. Nobody told it to do that. Now it's finding high engagement posts, checking likes, reposts, picking the ones that would actually work as content. Browsed X, read my script templates, wrote 7 scripts, compiled everything into a PDF, and there it is. Same PDF from the top of the video. 7 posts, 7 scripts, 7 virality scorecards, all sitting in my downloads. One prompt, one PDF. I was on my phone the entire time. Now here's the part that makes this more than just a cool demo. I also told it to schedule that same task every day at 9 a.m. So tomorrow morning, without me doing anything, it opens X again, finds the best posts, writes the scripts, and has the PDF ready before I even sit down at my desk. Every single day. So now you know how to set up Dispatch. You saw it send a Slack message and build an entire PDF both from a phone prompt. And you know you can schedule any of this to run daily. Quick heads up though, this is still a research preview, Mac only for now. You need a Claude Pro subscription that's $20 a month. And yeah, some tasks might take a second try, it's not perfect yet. But the core thing, texting your phone and your computer, actually doing real work while you're away, that part works. And it's going to keep getting better. If you want to go deeper into everything Cowork can do, not just Dispatch, I did a full walkthrough right here. Subscribe. More of this every week. See you in the next one.